All right, Shalom. This is a continuation from our last video. We're going to the RFID chip, and we're just gonna continue on. But going back to what we were saying, these people don't realize fully what they're getting into, And Esau, being the deceiver, he's of course he's gonna make it seem favorable to these people, You had anything?
I still got some on the Revelations. Revelations 13 and 15, going into the chip. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So that's basically all classes is going to apply when it comes to taking this chip. And they're going to seduce and entice the different classes with the chip. You had a couple years ago in Texas where they was going to trap all the children with basically neck chains, different, I forget the dog collars. And,
chokers.
Yeah, and it's going to have a tracking device because they were saying the children get lost too much. The older individuals that have life alert, they need certain support. They're going to give them that chip to actually help them. As far as bond go, you'll watch different movies like this new movie, The Purge. They're going to reduce your sentence if you're willing to actually take the chip.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that chip is going to actually have certain applications, so to speak. To the point where you don't need the Xbox 360. You're not going to need these different cell phones. You had this one individual that, suffered. I think he was going to go to prison for life, but he made a confession because he had killed his wife, and he said that the one thing that he wants, and he after he tells and confesses where his woman's body is he wants a Xbox One, in his prison. But these different intellectual or science giants, they're going to present these different prisoners with chips because they suffer boredom in those prisons, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They suffer a lot of things, and they're going to do certain things to ramp up the minds of those prisoners as well as soldiers. So it's gonna hit all people through all facets of life. The rich are going to actually have certain benefits that's going to come with the chip. Because this paper dollar, carrying these wallets, all that shit is going to be done away with, man. You're going to be able to actually monitor your child. You watch that. And then for brothers that haven't watched, you get some time on your hand, watch those Black Mirror episodes. It shows you a lot.
Yeah, it goes into it a lot, Like you were talking about, they had an episode I think it was called Parental Control. Where the adult, in the beginning they show you that the daughter went missing and the parent was scared, and so after that, she went and got basically an implant in her daughter, and basically she could actually see whatever the daughter sees, and track her every move, and that's gonna be a lot of. As a matter of fact, they had it on the news too. The news, they did a segment on it, asking would you give your child an implant tracking their every move? So they're already conditioning people to accept, that idea. Mm-hmm. And of course they're gonna use people. They're gonna play out people's emotions. Oh well, my child. I love my child. I don't want them to go missing.
Yeah. And that's beautiful because I had, even in that article I was reading, majority of people, when they asked would they actually take the chip, they said a large percent of them said yeah, they'll still take it.
Right.
So these people are willing, man. They led the sheep to the slaughter.
That's right.
All right. Verse 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
That's right.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to say something? Yeah,
and that's gonna be the what you call it what you call that that's gonna be the terms. Mm-hmm. Of you taking that chip, is you ain't gonna be able to you're not gonna be able to buy and sell. And you had this guy Nate, a few years back saying that, oh, the chip is what do you say
Basically,
it's for tracking only. It's for tracking pets.
and then he said his woman has dog has a chip. He said maybe you could go get him to buy a piece of lamb there. Basically making mockery.
Right.
The chip is only for tracking. He said it's only a tracking device. And it's came out that RFID you can actually use it for buying and trading, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they using it now for transactions. Mm-hmm. With the phone.
Yep.
Through Apple Pay. What do you think what technology you think Apple is using for Apple Pay?
Even when you at the store, they ask you got the chip.
Yeah.
Right, and they're conditioning people. They're conditioning people to already have understand that lingo.
Yeah.
The chip, because now it's like they're saying insert the chip. Right.
Yeah. At first it
But
was
guess
swipe.
what? Yeah, but now it's more than likely gonna transition to wave your chip.
Yep. Yep.
Now it's insert the chip card.
And the insertion gonna get boring. Cause just like the swiping, the spirit of swiping, or the spirit of paying with cash, that spirit is boring now, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That whole cash spirit walking around with
Carrying around loose change.
change and all that spirit is being done away with.
Pennies.
Back in the ancient world, individual would have a purse. You would be in front of somebody in a line, like an old lady with a bag full of fucking nickels. You ready to cut her head off, man.
Yep.
Because this is a fast food society, and the fastest way to get somebody in and out is just through a swipe of the hand.
Yeah, and they want to make it where you don't have to walk around with anything. You don't you don't need a wallet.
Yeah.
You don't need your car keys.
Everything on that chip.
Everything is on the chip. And actually, as a matter of fact, China is already moving to. China's pretty much already cashless.
Yeah, they said majority of the stores in China, if you come in there with some cash, then you ain't
They gonna look at you crazy.
Yeah, you ain't getting nothing.
Yeah, you ain't getting nothing. They look at people in China. They actually look at people funny. They look at you like you're strange if you don't pay with your phone.
Yeah.
But I'm
I got a little bit more.
okay, Con.
Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
That's right.
And that number is 666 because even the chip, it has a numerical system. It has a barcode inside of it, and when you tally up the bar numbers, it equals up to 666. And then in the Greek, it's chi psi stigma, and a stigma is another word for pricking in. That stigma, is going to be the how he's going to stick or prick something in you and plant something in you. What's going to be that device is going to stake or prick inside of you, that chip?
Yep, that chip.
Because everything, even in the system, has a brand to it. A branding is the same. Like in the ancient world, you would brand cattle. You would actually take that hot sizzling brander, and you would actually brand the cow.
Yeah.
Brand your livestock to show that that's property of you. And all these different clothes, it has some type of brand, the so-called name brand. The tag is tagged by somebody. Everything is tagged by what? But in the society, people. We're the only ones that's not physically tagged. Now we're tagged by the Social Security. But hey, you got majority of individuals that's illegal, man.
Yep.
Not majority, but you have a mass majority of people that's illegal. You got a lot of individuals that's illegal that's coming in, and Trump is making a hoopla about speaking a lot of hoopla about basically people and individuals actually being illegal.
Yep.
So they're looking to do something about that. And
Yeah,
that's going to be another thing that's going to gear towards the chip.
Yeah, that's right. That's gonna be another thing that's gonna eliminate illegal citizens, because the illegal citizens they're not gonna be able to apply and get a chip. But this is I'll go into this article. It says, based on 18 years of experience assessing the RFID market and with direct input from vendors across the supply chain, the report provides detailed historic sales going back to 2005 to forecast through 2028. segmented by application for each key frequency for passive RFID, in addition to assessing the RFID reader and active market size. All right, so this is basically the RFID market, future, it goes into the market worth and, the future of it. So it says, in total, ID Tech X research finds that the RFID industry will be a business worth 11 billion in 2018. Okay, so that's an $11 billion industry, which that's a pretty big number.
It's probably more than that.
It's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
It says of that passive RFID tags make 5 billion and RFID readers make 2.8 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Let me scan if there's anything else. And this is it actually shows you the market. It shows you the graph, and it's going up, as you see. This is in billions. In 2017, it went from 10 to 18. It's like around, what did they say? It's like 11. So it went from roughly about 10. It's rising about $1 billion per year. So they say, And it says by 2023, ID Tech forecasts the number of tagged apparel items will grow to 21 billion units. All right, so it's basically gonna double within 5 years. Within 5 years, the market is basically supposed to double. Okay, which we know, it's more than likely we don't see this place going on another 5 years.
The Lord's gonna speed that up, man.
Yeah, the Lord is gonna speed this trend up to where it's really it can double, triple overnight.
Yeah,
that's why you had
once the dollar crashes.
FEMA getting those $50,000
Yep.
50,000 RFID chips.
Matter of fact, I got that article too. Let me bring it
a
up.
couple years back, they got those hollow point bullets.
Mm-hmm.
They got bought a mass amount of hollow point bullets, and of course, if you know about hollow. So these which FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. These so-called domestic military groups, they're supposed to be here to protect us. Protect us so-called citizens, is really to control. Just like back in Rome started to crack down on the Christians, the Jews. You had the Jewish expulsion. You had Jewish Roman wars. And it's going to be the same thing now. That's why now the spirit is pushing on us being black extremists, all kind of terrorists being around the world, all kind of terrorist attacks and wildfires. They're looking to look at and deem all these citizens as terrorists. They put Donald Trump in office to stir up the hatred of the citizens against the government, so the government actually has a justifiable reason to crack down.
That's right.
And then people will say, well, if you citizens were just more... We're calm, the government wouldn't actually have to control you to this degree. So they actually using Donald Trump as a pawn, and they're gonna keep pushing out more chaos out here, because Esau works through what? Order out chaos. Order out chaos or order out of chaos. They start up and they spark all kind of anarchy and pandemonium, and they remedy it by destruction in the name of peace. They did the same thing in the Middle East. They over there talking about the war on terrorists, when they're actually terrorizing and killing those individuals, destroying and blowing up the buildings. So the same thing is going to happen here in the shores of America.
That's right. And this is the article: FEMA buys 50,000 RFID chips from Sweden. All right. Yesterday we exposed the truth behind Biohacks Corporation, a Swedish tech firm, and as you see, Sweden is getting this thing popping.
Yeah.
Sweden is like, I want to say they're saying it's like the first.
They were
cashless society, and
that was the first. It was a company over
the Swedish firm.
The one that took the chip.
Yep.
Yeah, they got cashless clubs.
Yep.
You got certain clubs where you actually can chip.
Yeah, the Baja Club.
Baja Club, and that's going on now, man. These clubs haven't shut down. SVIP entry clubs. To the
You
party.
people are just late. This
Yeah.
been going on.
You can't even purchase in certain clubs with a card. You have to have a chip. But you go ahead.
Yeah, and you people are late to the party. A lot of these people, a lot of the rich and wealthy people, they've been had this. They've been the average people, they're always late to everything. A lot of these rich people, they get phones years in advance and different things, different technology that hasn't been released on the market.
Yeah, they wait till they have the blueprints already, the data already inserted in. They know in the next 5 years this is going to be what's going to be pushed in the market.
They know what to put their money into in the future.
They know certain things they can't just push in the market because it's going to excite the minds of the people. And it's going to be too chaotic. If you push out too advanced technology, then that's going to shut down the market around you. It's going to say for instance, you push down super advanced laptops. People ain't even gonna want to use the cell phones, the laptops, the TVs, none of that shit.
Yeah, or hover cars.
Yeah, hover cars. They're not gonna
like
do
that.
it like that because it could shut down the market of things. Esau wants to introduce it, and he wants to have all these other corporate and his conglomerate forces actually all push it towards the same energy.
Yeah, it has to be a slow transition.
Slow transition.
Because if you go from one extreme to the next extreme, you're gonna get resistance. You're gonna get people that it's just gonna mess everything up. Like the brother said. Colin, bring out what you got.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to excite passiveness or passivity is by actually being real slow, like
Slow
you said.
change, like the frog experiment.
Yeah.
The boiling frog example. How you take frogs. They don't have any sense of abrupt, or they don't have any sense of slow change.
Yeah.
If you turn up the heat slowly, they won't notice, and that's the same thing as psychologically. That's the same thing as you people.
Yeah.
You don't really notice slow progressive change. But that's how Esau plays on you. You can bring out what you got, Christ.
John, this is Ezekiel 28:3. It says, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel." It says, there is no secret that they can hide from thee.
Yeah, thou art wiser than Daniel, talking about the so-called white man. Okay, the elites. They are very wise in their wickedness. Okay.
Yeah, they know how a society should be ran, and they know how to actually control the minds of people. They're master manipulators. They know how to control people through narrative. They know how to control people through the government, through ideologies, through left and right hand representation, so to speak. Because Esau will even have certain Israelites, certain men that are supposed to be men of God, actually debunking his technology. Because he wants to push that technology, and he doesn't want it to be a scare unto the people.
That's right.
Because if we, like us, all we doing is crashing the party, man. We're telling all these things that's gonna happen before it happens, and Esau doesn't want that to happen. He wants people to actually desire the things that he's gonna push it to the market without resistance. Because more resistance means that he's gonna have to push it and control people on a heavier state. And that's why they have these different celebrities. They're gonna push a lot of these celebrities and these entertainers to actually get more into the spirit of pushing out the chip.
They got to do more false flags, and they have to do more false flags and more shootings and catastrophes to get people to obey,
Submit.
to comply. Because out of disaster comes FEMA. Just like we're reading. In order for FEMA to be effective, you gotta have some shit happen. You gotta put people's backs in the corner.
And they gonna run to the aid of
They're gonna run to the aid
of the so-called white man and not to the Lord, man.
Yeah.
That's right. It says there is no secret. Read that part again.
It says there is no secret that they can hide from thee.
That's right. So we don't. I mean, of course, this devil knows certain things that you know we may not know the intricacies of certain things. You know, there's a lot of things that the Lord has to reveal to us that this devil's doing now, you know, in that day.
Hey, but you got the angels doing their job, you know.
Come,
'Cause at the end
yep.
of the day,
Mhm.
says we know in part and prophesy in part.
That's
what we
right.
don't know, we got the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shah through the angels actually monitoring
That's right.
and
Yep.
doing certain things, man.
Yeah,
Right.
and we know through the Spirit, we have we know in general terms, you know, what this devil's doing. We know his plans through the Spirit. You know, the scriptures also say you have an unction
Yeah.
to know all things.
Yeah.
You know, so we do know a little bit about everything. You know, you want to
Yeah.
bring out what you got?
You had something? Or you
No, that was it.
Okay,
You
I will
close it out
close
with
with
that.
this one. This is Daniel 12:1. Matter of fact, Daniel 12 and give me 1 second.
You're good.
Trying to figure out what knowledge shall increase. Just say something real fast. I'm about to find it real fast.
You good? I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Yeah, because the scripture I was looking to go into is in Daniel, where it speaks about how basically in the last days knowledge shall increase, and that's the time that we're living in. You know, where there's technology.
Daniel 11 and
11.
Daniel 12 and 4.
I know it's 12. Okay. Daniel's 12:4. Yeah, that's it. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
That's right.
And it's heavy because it says knowledge shall increase. When you look up the word science, it means to know. So science technology is advancing on astrological levels
Good point.
to be the destruction unto the people. And when you look at the federal budget, the scriptures speak about beating your plowshares and the pruning hooks. The agricultural market is being sucked away. That's why the people aren't being fed nutritiously. Esau is pushing all his energy into technological advancements and military advancements. The teeth in the scriptures and the mind, the witchcraft, the soothsayers.
Yep.
You want to say something?
Just to add on to your point too, that's why the Lord got a lot of these natural disasters going on too, because it's hitting the agriculture market.
Yeah,
Exactly.
California is a
Wildfires.
big agriculture. Is big in agriculture. California feeds majority of the U.S. If I'm not mistaken.
They do.
You know.
These hurricanes and wildfires and earthquakes. Yep.
And that's the Lord doing His work.
Yeah.
You know. Were you finished on that?
Yeah, that's really nice.
Oh, that was yeah. So yeah, you know, these are the things that come. The RFID being the main prophecy, one of the main prophecies that we're waiting on. You know, so it's important to take heed to these things, and to know, you know, what Esau is up to understand these things and to prepare. Scriptures also say, prepare yourselves for temptation, which the chip is going to be a very tempting thing to do.
Try the world.
You know, he's going to try the world, exactly. You know, so with that, we're going to wrap up. We want to give our praises to Yahweh.